So today we are going to know about the sensory organs. Sensory organ of the body are the windows of the brain because they keep the brain aware of what is going on in the external world. There are five major sensory organ: hair, for hearing, taste, smell and touch. These are the organ connected with these senses that take the information that is sent to the brain so that the body can act on it. Olfaction, the sense of smell, the taste and gustation, the detection of compound and ion by the tongue, and vision, the detection of light. Hearing, the detection of sound or pressure wave in the air, and touch, the detection of change in the pressure, temperature and other factors by the skin. So the sensory organ, for example, skin, nose, tongue, ear and eyes. The sensory organ or sensory system detect change in the environment and send appropriate signal to the central nervous system. And the central nervous system, these signals are processed and combined with other information to yield a perception that may trigger a change in response. By these means, our sensory organ allow us to detect change in our environment and to adjust our behavior appropriately. So the eye are complex sensory organ. They gather information about the environment. Now let's see what is this anatomy of eye. Eye is a complex sensory organ and it is responsive for vision. Its anatomy can be divided into several major parts, each performing a specific function to enable sight. So external structure consists of sclera, the white tough outer layer that protects the eye, then cornea, the transparent curved structure in front of the eye that help focusing light onto the retina, and then conjunctiva, a thin membrane covering the sclera and lining the inside of the eyelid. The eyelid and eyelashes protect the eye from dust, debris and excessive light. The middle structure of eye consists of iris, the colored part of the eye which control the size of the pupil, the black center opening that is the pupil, and to regulate the amount of light entering the eye. The pupil is adjusts its size to control the light entry, and then lens, a flexible transparent structure that focus light onto the retina. It changes its shape for near and far vision. And then ciliary body. It contains a muscle that adjusts the lens shape and produce aqueous humor, that is the fluid in the eye. Then the internal structure consists of retina, the light sensitive layer lining the back of the eye. It contains photoreceptor cell, the rod for lower light and corns for the color vision. Then macula, a central area of the retina responsive for the shape and detail vision. Fovea, a small pit in the macula with a higher density of cones for precise vision. And then optic nerves, this transmits the visual information from the retina to the brain. Supporting structure are vitreous humor, a gel-like substance filling the eye interior, providing shape and support. Then aqueous humor, a clear fluid between the cornea and lens that maintain the pressure and provide nutrition. And then choroids, a vascular layer between the retina and sclera that supply blood to the eye. So the light enters through the cornea, then passes through the pupil, then it gets focused by the lens and projects onto the retina. Where it is converted into electrical signal, and this signal travels via the optic nerve to the brain, creating the perceptions of visions. Now let's see the second sensory organ, anatomy and function of human ear. The ear is a sensory organ responsible for hearing and balance. Its structure can be divided into three main parts. The outer ear, it collects the sound wave and directs them inward. Then pinna, the visible part of the ear made of cartilage and skin. The function like a funnel to collect the sound wave and direct them into the ear canal. The external auditory canal, a tube-like structure leading from the auricle to the eardrum. It contains glands that produce airwax and cerumen to trap dust and microorganisms. Tympanic membrane, the eardrum, a thin membrane separating the outer ear from the middle ear. It vibrates when the sound wave hit it and converting sound energy into mechanical energy. If we see the middle ear, the middle ear amplifies sound vibration and transmit them into the inner ear. Then ossicles, the air bones, the three tiny bones, malleus, that is the hammer, incus, envial and stapes. it is the stirrup that transmit vibrations from the eardrum to the oval window, and these bone amplify sound. Then Eustachian tube, a tube connecting the middle ear to the thorax, that is the pharynx, and then equalizes air pressure on both sides of the eardrum, ensuring proper vibration. If we see the inner ear is responsible for converting mechanical energy into neural signal and maintaining balance. The air is responsible for converting mechanical energy into neural signal and maintaining the balance. So, a spiral shaped fluid filled structure containing sensory cell called hair cells, and these hair cells detect sound vibration and convert them into electrical signal and send to the brain via the auditory nerve in the cochlea. So the vestibular system, it includes the semicircular canal, utricel and sacals, and these structures detect the head movement and help maintaining balance. The semicircular canal, it detect the rotational movement, and utricle and the saccules, it detect the linear movement and gravity. Now how hearing works. The sound collection. The auricle collects the sound wave and direct them into the air canal. Then vibrations happens. The sound wave hit the eardrum and cause it to vibrate. Then amplification takes place where the vibrations are transmitted and amplified by the ossicle, and then signal conversion. The stapes transmit vibration to the cochlea and via the oval window and creating a wave in the cochlear fluid. Then the hair cell activation occurs where the wave moves the hair cell, generating electrical signal, and the brain processing takes place. Electrical signaling travels via the auditory nerve to the brain where they are interpreted as a sound. Now how the balance works. The semicircular canal detects rotational movement of the head and that filled with the fluid that move in the response to the head motion, bending hair cells and triggering balance signaling. The utricle and saccula, it detect the linear motion and gravitational forces and contain a tiny crystal that moves with the head, tilts and stimulates sensory cells, and then signals from the vestibular system are sent to the brain to maintain the posture and orientation. So the air not only enables hearing but also help in maintaining equilibrium. By working together, the auditory and vestibular system allow us to interpret sound and stay balanced in our environment. So these was about the sensory organs.